Hey yo, I feel like by now you should know what time it is when you hear me say hey yo.
It's the Smile&mize podcast time, my nigga. If you don't know, now you know, brother and sister. Yo, this is the Smile&mize podcast, a podcast about nothing, but hopefully you take away something. I just wanted to get a few things off my chest. Basically, I feel like I just dropped an episode without really explaining what Smile&mize is, who I am, so people are just bombarded with content that they don't understand, you know? So I'm here to clarify, just to clear the air, to make things make sense. You know, these ladies and gentlemen, is a podcast, and I'm gonna basically, like I said, I'm gonna break it down for you guys so that you understand the journey, so that you understand the vision, so you understand me, so that you're not offended by some of the things that I say, because sometimes things are taken out of context because someone said something somehow to whoever, you know what I mean? It's complicated. So let's not complicate shit. Let's understand who I am. Let's build a relationship together so that we can both grow together, be free together, and understand each other together. You get it? Yeah. First things first, my name is Kitu, aka Kitu Metsomolokome, aka Uncle Tumi, because my nephews call me that. Aka Avuti CEO. Sorry. Aka I'm your hood therapist. And I'm not a licensed therapist, so please don't say, hey, this person diagnosed me with a disorder. That is not me. But I'm probably gonna say something motivational to help you snap out of that shit mood that you in, nigga. And yeah, a little bit about myself. Fun fact, the building that I'm chilling on right now, that I'm recording on right now, is a building I grew up in. All my life, I be growing in life. Sacrifice, house baby price. Yeah, I grew up in this building. I grew up in this building, born and raised in Pretoria, because that's where I'm from. If you can't tell by my chilled aura, yes, because I'm Pretoria. This is all I know. Pretoria is all I know. I've traveled a bit, but like Cape Town. That's it. That's it. That's all I've been to. I've never really traveled. I'm lying. But yeah. And I'm going to be explaining the journey on how I started Smile&mize to where we are right now. So I've always wanted to start a podcast since high school. I've always wanted to have a chat with my boys. I always wanted to do crazy shit, you know. Started off with the weird music career that I ended up dropping because I can. Yeah, I had to stop music because it wasn't working out for me. I didn't want to be that 30-year-old that's still trying. Not that there's anything wrong. I just didn't want to be that 30-year-old that's still trying. You know, so I had to stop music. And now I'm doing a podcast, which is different, you know. You can do it on a part-time level. It's nothing hectic. And yeah, so the journey, because I wanted to start a podcast, I was a bit hesitant when it comes to talking about it. I was not really comfortable with my voice. I just wasn't sure if I had the face for it. So I was a bit skeptical. I was a bit hesitant when it comes to the podcast situation. So yeah. And then 2020 happened. I was like, fuck that shit. Life is short, nigga. And now we're here. The Smile&mize podcast is literally just me and my boys and whoever that's interesting or whoever who wants to chop shit up with me, dog. Pull up with the Smile&mize podcast. Let's talk about things that are uncomfortable. Let's talk about the chats that people don't want to have. Like how overrated being toxic is. Let's talk about shit like that, you know? That's the Smile&mize podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's a podcast about communication. It's a podcast about community. It's a podcast about togetherness. Fuck you! Warasa! Sorry about that. As I was saying, yeah, the Smile&mize podcast is literally a community of people who want to heal a community of people who want to be better people, a community of people who want to connect and grow the businesses together. You know, I'm a young entrepreneur in the making, so yeah, let's do things though. So it's a minor detour. Um, yeah, that's what the Smile and Mize podcast is about. It's just chat, really, nothing hectic, nothing rehearsed, nothing scripted. If you've noticed, everything is freestyled here. So we are authentic and genuine as fuck. Whatever we say it without it being rehearsed. You know, it's not scripted. That's what I love, you know? And that's what the Smile and Mize podcast is about. It's about just being raw and being able to connect with people. That's what the Smile and Mize podcast is about. But also, on top of that, the Smile and Mize podcast has a music side, which is the My Sessions. Now, if you're like me, sometimes you just don't want to hear people talk. You just want to zone out. You don't want to interact with people. You don't want people to talk to you. Don't call me. If you're like me, the My Sessions are for you. If you want to chill, zone out, My Sessions are there. This is where I bring in my favorite DJs, my friends who are artists, my friends who are musicians, to come and bless us with music for an hour. Just bless us with a music playlist, bless us with a mix for an hour, you know? Nothing hectic. And that's going to be available on YouTube as well. That's going to be called My Sessions. So, in as a whole, Smile and Mize is going to be conversations with the podcast and music with the My Sessions. And I'm trying to cater for every need a person has or needs. Every needs a person needs. Hey, you're not ill, right? And that's the Smile and Mize podcast, guys. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I wanted to rant a bit, but I'll rant on another day. I'm just sick and tired of this shit, dude. Let's be better people. Let's grow together. Let's stop this competitive bullshit. Let's all grow. Let's stop this negative competitive shit. You know, like we're all a team. We can all win. We're all goats in the making. We are all goats in the making. So there's no need for us to compete. You know, if we are going to compete, let's compete on a team level. You know, let's break our own records. If I break my record, I expect my friends to break their own records. And that way we can break records together. That's just how it is. We can all be goats. We can all be goats, you know? And let's try to be better people. Let's try to be better friends. Let's try to be better brothers, sisters, sons, children, the whole shebang. You know? Because life is short. Appreciate the people in your life. Appreciate yourself even more, my nigga. Because you are all you have. There's only one you, my nigga. And yeah, guys, the Smile and Mize podcast is an escape for everybody. I'm using this as an escape. And I hope it's an escape for you too. So tune in. Don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube. And links are available on my Instagram at Smile&mize, Twitter at Smile&mize. And the podcast audio is going to be available on Spotify, Apple Podcast. And for my broke niggas, I got you, bro. Like, Haiti economy is tough. SoundCloud. Links are available on Linktree. Just check in bio. I'll also attach the link below. And you'll be able to join me on this journey to podcastry. If that's a real word. But yeah, man. Don't forget, the most important rule in life. Push out that opa, my boy. Keep God in your life. Bye.